As you saw, the meeting began with me stating the purpose for the activity. Next, I asked my participants to introduce themselves with their name and which department they worked on. Based on the agenda that I had planned for the meeting, I asked participants to brainstorm the social and diversity issues that students on our campus face. When I noticed at the very beginning that the participants were hesitant to speak up, as I expected to some degree, I mentioned teen pregnancy as an issue and brought up evidence of the problem that I had seen on campus. Ms. Wachowski was able to relate to what I mentioned. I was very worried after she spoke that the other people wouldn't speak up, so I asked some of the participants directly about their experiences with pregnant students. Ms. Souffle, the ESL teacher, entered the room at that time, which was about 5 minutes after we began, so the pregnancy rate amongst ESL students became part of the discussion as well. We also talked about how male students are affected by becoming teen parents. There aren't any programs to address parenting skills for young men, so that was the first option that we were considering for developing a project. Ms. Souffle's input guided the discussion to the dropout rate, so I mentioned some statistics from the TAPR regarding the dropout rate. From there, we talked about school involvement and how feeling like they are a part of the school community keeps students from dropping out. Ms. Souffle was talking about how her ESL students had tried out for athletic programs but then didn't make the team and became discouraged. Mr. Hoffman, another participant, is the golf coach for our school, and so he offered that if any ESL students wanted to be on the golf team, he would be happy to have them. So that was the first positive outcome from our meeting. From there, the conversation went in many different directions, as I had hoped, for the brainstorming discussion. At one point, the participants began discussing the reasons why the EOC test negatively impacts our ability to teach, and their concerns were valid, but since that didn't contribute to the overall discussion, I edited most of that part out. After I felt like the group was done brainstorming, I guided them back to talking about projects that we could undertake to address some of the issues. We finally decided on a project to address lack of student involvement and school pride on campus. So next year, several of the participants, including me, will be putting together a video program to be shown around the school to advertise different clubs and organizations on our campus. So that's kind of my summary about the experience of leading the meeting. My analysis of that experience, it was great to be able to lead the discussion and facilitate that meeting, especially because it led to us coming up with a project that people are excited about and we think it's going to make an impact on our campus. So that was very positive. To analyze how I did as the leader, I definitely have some room for improvement. I need to, like we say for our students in the classroom, I need to have better wait time. I think I got nervous when people just paused for a few seconds, and I kind of jumped right in there. And I don't want to be interrupting people, so I probably need to watch that and let there be, just real short pauses before I panic and feel like I need to jump in and say something. Analysis of the participants' evaluation of the meeting, I did get a lot of positive feedback. People were glad to be involved, and again, they are excited to be working on the project that we came up with for next year. Was the agenda followed? Yeah, I had a real loose agenda, and I just wanted to get everyone's input, so that was accomplished. The objectives of the meeting were definitely met. We discussed all kinds of social and diversity issues, and we were able to kind of brainstorm those problems and a few different solutions, And then we came up with one that we're really excited about, and we think that the project is going to address the issue of lack of involvement on campus, and indirectly, that relates to the issue of the dropout problem. Was it relevant? Yeah, as I mentioned, we got off topic, and I edited out our, lamenting how much the EOC and standardized testing has affected our teaching, and a few other. Well, I mean, it was a brainstorming meeting, so I don't think we got too far off topic from the central purpose of the meeting, which was to discuss issues. Even though there were a lot of different issues that got brought up, we didn't end up talking about like our, what we were going to have for lunch or something like that. It wasn't too far off. Was time well managed? It went over by about 3 minutes, and I edited out about 3 minutes, so the total was about 45 minutes. It could have been a little shorter. I had to cut people off sometimes when I felt like they were just dominating the discussion, but I had anticipated that, and I know I didn't hurt anyone's feelings. The people who talked a lot are people who always talk a lot, and so I think they're kind of used to being cut off after a certain amount of time. Was communication effective? Yeah, I would say so. I mean, everybody spoke, everybody was respectful towards each other. The level of collaboration and engagement was good. As I mentioned, some people spoke more than others, but that's fine. That's to be expected. You can't push people too far out of their comfort zone, but a little bit is good. Summary and analysis of my growth from the experience. This was a great experience for me. What went well? I think that the outcome of us all being able to decide on a project and being excited about that project is the best I could hope for. What would you change? I would change, like I said, how quick I was to kind of jump in at some moments. I probably need to hold back a little bit on that. The surprising information that was revealed through this experience. Okay, so when I was interviewing the participants afterwards and getting their feedback from them, one of the participants who had been kind of quiet during the meeting, she was a first-year teacher, and she said, I'm sorry that I didn't talk as much as I could have, but I'm so glad that you invited me to participate in this. I'm pretty quiet, and so I feel like I'm not very involved in things that are going on in school, but I love being able to collaborate with you all, and I'm excited about this project. And so, leading into the next question, how will that transform your practices as a school administrator? I think that instead of just going to the same people who I think, have a lot of opinions and will want to attend meetings and work on projects and committees, maybe I'll, I know I will, ask new teachers and just kind of people I don't know, this is one way to get to know them for sure and to get them involved. There might be people who are just waiting to be asked. And that's it. That's it for my conclusion of the video. Thank you.